Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. This is Friday, December 23rd, 2022. My name's Jeremy. This is my first cup. I hope you are well. Let's see who's here. I want to say good morning to Frank and Dennis and Jenny and all the rest of you, whether you're watching live or later or listening, doesn't matter to me. Just glad you're here. Like my Santa hat. I remembered yesterday to take it out. I wore it a little bit on our team meeting yesterday, but it's hot and it's itchy, and I dislike wearing this immensely, but it's the only Santa hat I have, so I figured I'd put it on for you guys. Now, a little bit later, I will give you a reveal on what I'm wearing. You can probably see the top of it. Some of you, if you follow me personally on social media, you may have seen what I am wearing before. Good morning, Mark. Good, Dennis again. Dennis says, first time I got an ad on Twitch in a while. Glad we're back in the big time. I don't even know if we make money on that. I'm assuming so, but probably very little. Who knows? It's Friday. I will not see you until after Christmas. For some of you, that is a big day. For example, Dennis saying happy Eve of the Eve, because tomorrow will be Christmas Eve. Jenny says, I love that hoodie. Oh, and she's a little bit of a spoiler there. Some of you might be able to pick up on it. And Frank says, I called off from work today. We got hit by a winter storm here in Cincinnati. Well, we're getting it later. This is a storm that is really interesting in that I have, not that I can ever remember, had more communication from the state and from electrical utilities cautioning us from what is about to happen. Most of you who are listening or watching are probably in the same sort of boat, so I'm not going to over explain it to you, but for those of you who may be elsewhere, it's going to be up to 50 today. So all the snow is going to melt. We've got wind coming in, sustained it. They're predicting 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts up to 75 or 80, I've seen reports. And then tonight, it's going to plunge into the teens. So we're going to have, oh, and then there's snow, and there's snow coming too. So if we add all that up, it means a lot of trees coming down. And I'm not saying I'm expecting to lose power, but it won't surprise me if I do. This is part of why I'm putting batteries on my house next year. We will. I don't even know where that project is. Who knows? The bank's got to get back to me, and the company's got to get back to me. Everybody's getting back to me. But this is why I'm thankful I have a wood stove, and I have weeks worth of water saved up, and I've got plenty of food. And honestly, the biggest problem when we lose power is it's boring. I can't really work that well. I've got enough electricity to watch a little bit of TV, but mostly I would watch on my laptop. I should download some movies. That's what I should do after I'm done with the show, because that I can do. I can plug into the battery backups and everything. So I should do that. I will do that. Yep. Merry Christmas to you, Liz. Oh, Dennis says that his power's been going off and on all morning. Jenny says it's been raining for almost 24 hours. Our area is expecting a flash freeze as the storm moves out midday. Many schools closed as a precaution. And they're talking about flooding for us too. And some of you may remember 10, 12 years ago, we had the worst flooding we've had in 100 years. And it was bad. I mean, where I am here, it would be apocalyptic for it to flood here. But I saw there was just so much damage, and I had friends lose their homes, and it was pretty bad. And so whenever they talk about flooding as a result of, we're going to have all the snow melt into the rivers, which inevitably means ice breaking up, and then it freezes, which means it jams up and the water backs up behind it. I gassed up the Jeep yesterday, even though it still had half a tank, because you don't know what's going to happen. Be safe. In fact, Andrew and I recorded an episode yesterday that's kind of along these lines. Self-defense, but not so much about the violent part, protecting oneself. So it was an interesting episode. Actually, some of you, I think, came by for the live Q&A that we did. That was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed that. Dennis says, the biggest problem for us losing power is not being able to make coffee. My friend, you need a camp stove. You need a camp stove and a couple 1-pound propane tanks. $100. You can cook a lot of food on a 1-pound propane cylinder. I have several. I've even got an adapter for my 5-pound. It's probably the easiest way to make coffee. Of course, if you don't have heat, that can be a problem. I could probably, I could certainly make coffee on the stove. That wouldn't be a big deal. French press, right? Heat the water, pour it in the French press. Not a big deal. Frank says, with the wind chill, it feels like 23 degrees. That's cold for you guys. We're at 30. Yesterday on the call, Victor, who is in Nebraska, was at -1. So that cold weather sweeping across the plains, we're going to get it today. Jenny says, we found our camp stove at a thrift store. Had it for years. Yeah, I think, damn it. Jenny says, Kansas. They're the same state to me. I'm so sorry. Kansas, not Nebraska. Okay. I think everybody needs a camp stove. They're small, they're inexpensive. If the things that are being predicted happen, power outages will become a little more common over the next few years, because just the resources to put them back together are becoming a little more scarce. So I would urge you, I've talked about this a little bit, I really would urge you, have a way to heat your home, or at least heat yourself, if all you have is electric heat or electric driven heat. Have a way to heat water, have water put up, have what else? Have food, have a few weeks of food. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be complicated. This is something you want to do. And something I just learned about, because I pretty much have always lived on a well with a septic. Apparently, in an extended outage, the main line, the sewage line out of a home on public water and public sewer can back up, but there's a way you can shut that valve. So learn how to shut that valve. Because remember, plumbing goes to the area of least pressure. Just keep that in mind. Oh, Frank says, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. That's -23. And I don't have heat in my car. Well, that's a problem. You should get heat in your car, my friend. That's a big deal. Liz says, we definitely have multiple ways to make coffee if we lose power. It's good. And Dennis says, those live Q&A episodes are some of my favorites. I really enjoy them. Of course, we did it on a Thursday. We usually do it on a Tuesday. We often do them in the morning. We did it in the afternoon. It's just kind of fun to get out and do something different with that show. So what's going on for me today? Today, got a couple things going on. I've got a few little projects I've got to do. I've got one client meeting that got moved from this coming Monday back to today. And then I'm spending the remainder of the day putting together the newest Whistlekick program. It's a 30-day challenge. It is free. We talked about this a little bit Mark gave me the best softball question ever as a question. What's the best program someone should start with next year? It's like the one I'm making tomorrow. He didn't even know. It's a 30-day challenge, but it's done the whistle kick way, right? It's not going to be, here's 30 days of hammering on your body to lose as much fat as possible and suppress your metabolism. So you start to hate your life and food and everything around you. And then after 30 days is over, you go back to doing what you were doing and ultimately destroy your results and possibly put yourself in a worse place than when you started. That's what most 30-day challenges are. This one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to bring in principles from 12 months to health and 1% improvement. I think for those of you who sign up for it, if you choose to, because again, it's going to be completely free, it will be emailed to you every day. Here's what you got to do today. I think you're going to like it. It'll be simple, but it'll be effective, and the goal is not so much to create massive change in 30 days, to create massive momentum. You will see some small differences, but you will see momentum, and hopefully you will carry that momentum through. What else is going on this weekend? It's going to be cold. The gift exchange I participate in isn't until Monday, so I've got an entire weekend of not working, probably not going anywhere, because everybody's freaking out about tomorrow as a result of what's coming today, just like last week. We lost power overnight briefly. I don't know for how long, but the clock on the stove was blinking. I'm going to try to go for a hike. We'll see if the roads and the weather cooperate for that. I would like to get out there. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing really major happening in my world. And I hope that wherever you are, you remain safe. I hope that you stay warm. And I hope that you enjoy whatever time you have, whatever you're doing with it. If you're with family, great. If you're with friends, great. Doesn't matter to me what you're doing, it matters how you're feeling while you do it. Tommy says he's supposed to go to a sledding event tomorrow. Well, have fun with that. I hope that works out. If it freezes, you will go very fast. All right, time for the reveal. For those of you who haven't seen this sweatshirt, here it is. It is the only Christmas-themed clothing I own. And for those of you listening, it's a Tyrannosaurus with a Santa hat. Coming out of the grocery store earlier this week, a couple saw me, and man was probably in his 50s. He thought it was a dog. He's like, I like your dog hoodie. I was like, thanks. If he saw a dog, who am I to deny him that this is a dog? Maybe to him that's a dog. I would kind of like to own a dog that looked like that, especially if it was those dimensions. Can you imagine having a pet dinosaur? That'd be super fun. I wonder if I could ride it. Just ride it around like a horse. Ride it into town. Tie it up outside the grocery store. We'll probably get shot, especially here. Dennis says, I love that hoodie. Me too. I only wear it a few weeks. Jenny says, can I imagine owning a pet dinosaur? Heck yes. I think there have been movies about that. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to share. I don't think so. So instead, we're going to switch over. Frank sent us jokes, and he sent us other stuff to talk about. So we're going to do that now. Thank you, as always, to Frank. I'm glad you're here, Frank. Get to thank you sort of in person. You get to hear my gratitude live. Thank you also to Josh for our theme music. Thank you to Denise for the work that you do getting into the podcast feed. I appreciate it. For those of you who aren't able to watch live, there is an actual podcast of this where you can have the audio. So if you're driving to work or something, I suspect it's the West Coast folks who do that. That's what I would do. So I could kind of stay tied in. All right. Which tab is this? This is, go over here. This one. Oh, good yawn. The jokes for Fun Day Friday. Happy holidays. How do you wash your hands over the holiday? With sanitizer. Why don't you ever see Santa in a hospital? Because he has private health care. Why is Santa afraid of getting stuck in a chimney? He has claustrophobia. It's pretty good. Why does Santa have 3 gardens? So he can hoe, hoe, hoe. What does Santa do when his elves misbehave? He gives them the sack. But what do they do after? What do elves who don't work for Santa do? They address that in the movie Elf. What do you call a kid who doesn't believe in Santa? A rebel without a clause. What nationality is Santa Claus? North Polish. I don't know why that's so funny, but that's hysterical. How much did Santa pay for his sleigh? Nothing. It was on the house. How can you tell that Santa is real? You can always sense his presence. Why will Santa go down your chimney on Christmas Eve? Because it suits him. Frank, this is like the best set of jokes you've done in a long time. These are great. If Santa and Mrs. Claus had a baby, what would he be? A subordinate clause. They're nerdy and they're fun and they're like You're outdoing yourself, Frank. What does Santa spend his hard-earned salary on? Jingle bills. Who's sending Santa bills? Seems rude. What brand of motorcycle does Santa ride? Harley Davidson. What do you get if you eat Christmas decorations? Tinselitis. North Polish. What do you call a bunch of chess players bragging about their games in a hotel lobby? Chestnuts boasting in an open foyer. What happened to the man who stole an advent calendar? He got 25 days. What do you get when you combine a Christmas tree with an iPad? A pineapple. Oh, I'm not awake enough. That took a second. That took a disappointing long length of time. I apologize. Pine, apple, pine tree, apple, iPad. Okay. It's better than I made it. That one's all me. Who's never hungry at Christmas? The turkey. He's always stuffed. I asked my wife what she wanted for Christmas. She told me that nothing would make her happier than a diamond necklace. So I bought her nothing. My friend just won the tallest Christmas tree competition. I thought to myself, how can you top that? A gingerbread man went to the doctors complaining of a sore knee. The doctor asked him, have you tried icing it? All right, my favorite one out of that is the North Polish. I hope you all enjoyed those. Those are really good. Frank, you're doing a fine job, and you did a fine job. Tommy says, these are funny. Dennis says, just amazing, Frank Wood. They really are. That was a great set of jokes. An absolutely great set of jokes. I've been encouraging Frank to put together the official First Cup joke book. Maybe some of you can help with that encouragement. Tea. Hey, here's a secret. If you want to drink tea that's good for you, but it doesn't taste very good, chocolate monk fruit sweetener. A couple drops will mask just about anything. This is like a detox tea, which makes me feel good. Doesn't taste very good. but a couple drops of chocolate sweetener, yeah, that stuff's the best. Jenny says, those were fantastic. Thank you, Frank. Those put me in the spirit for sure. North Polish. And Jenny says, yes, joke book. Let's work together, my friend. Don't worry, Frank. She's like a dog with a bone. She's not going to let up till you write that book now. She will. Toby says, I told my students I don't have gray hair. I'm growing tinsel. That's awesome. All right. Hold on. I got another yawn coming. Got to bed about 10. Our meeting went until about 9:30. Whistlekick has the best meetings. In any of the various ways that we have meetings, they're always fun. All right. And we got one more screen from Frank with today's material. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Festivus is a secular holiday normally celebrated on today, December 23rd. It is mainly meant as an alternative to the pressures and commercialization of the Christmas season. However, it has also become a day to celebrate the everlasting comedy of the 1990s television show, Seinfeld. Festivus was a holiday featured in the season 9 Seinfeld episode, The Strike, which first aired on December 18th, 1997. If you want to see one of the best comedic actors of all time, it's Jerry Stiller, and it's specifically Jerry Stiller in this series. And if you want one of the best episodes of this series with Jerry Stiller, it's this episode. He's incredible. He's an just peak form. You can probably find this episode somewhere. I bet there are clips on YouTube about the Festivus poll and stuff. But if you've not seen Seinfeld, you're missing out. It is one of them, in my opinion, one of the most enduring comedy series of all time. It holds up because it's not about anything. It's almost equally applicable today as it was 25 years ago. Wow. Since then, many people have been inspired by this zany, offbeat Seinfeld holiday and now celebrate Festivus as any other holiday. According to the Seinfeld model, Festivus is celebrated on December 23rd. However, many people celebrate at other times in December and even at other times throughout the year. The usual holiday tradition of a tree is manifested in an unadorned aluminum pole, which is in direct contrast to normal holiday materialism. Those attending Festivus may also participate in the airing of grievances, which is an opportunity to tell others how they have disappointed you in the past year, followed by a Festivus dinner, and then completed by the feats of strength, where the head of the household must be pinned. All of these traditions are based upon the events in the Seinfeld episode. Strangely enough, our Festivus traditions also have roots that predate Seinfeld, as it began in the household of Dan O'Keefe, a television writer who is credited for writing the Seinfeld episode. The traditional greeting of Festivus is Happy Festivus. The slogan of Festivus is A Festivus for the rest of us. How many of you remember watching Seinfeld? And how many of you remember this episode? It's iconic. It's one of the most iconic episodes in the entire series. There was, 10 seasons? 11, 12 seasons? And I remember how I felt when I watched it. Oh. I'm hearing the wind kick up. Still a little quiet. You won't hear it, but there's the front edge of the storm. And I think I'm hearing rain too. That's the wrong screen. I'm over here now. Frank says, Happy Festivus, everyone. Yeah, Happy Festivus to you. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Boxing Day. We'll be back for Boxing Day. What else? I hope you have a great weekend. I appreciate all of you. I really do. I appreciate you coming for this show. I appreciate you sharing of yourself in the chat. I appreciate you showing up to what I continue to believe is the most ridiculous concept for a television show. Television, use that loosely. But it means something to you, and that means something to me. And that's why I keep doing it. And I will continue to do it as long as people show up. Can't promise that forever, but at least for now, I have no plans of stopping this show. If you want to support us, if you're looking for last-minute martial arts gifts, there are 3 things that you can grab at whistlekick.com. You can grab gift certificates. One of you, thank you, has been buying those like they're going to run out. Appreciate it. I assume to give as gifts, which means a great deal to me. 2, you could grab a training program. You can give that as a gift. If it's something that you need to get over to somebody else and you want it signed up with their email address, we can make that happen. Just buy it and then let me know. We'll handle it on the back end. And then the 3rd thing is All-In Weekend. I sent an email out to all of you who are attending All-In Weekend. If you did not receive it, please look around, and if you can't find it, let me know, because we only have a few slots left, and it's important. The information in there is important. But if you want to give All-In Weekend as a gift, it's a pretty awesome gift. You'll even get a certificate emailed to you that you can fill out, print out, and give to somebody, because it's not until April. So, thank you. Thanks for coming by. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your humor. I appreciate all of you, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching, and whyever you watch. Whether you're coming in on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter, those are the places right now. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just thankful that you enjoy this show in some way, even if it's infrequent. We'll put it out there. You check it out when you want. Fine by me. It's all good. Thank you. There's one more, the digital book collection. I think I mentioned this earlier in the week. We put all of the digital versions of our books, digital versions of all of our books, together as one single purchase, $50, $49.99. You can put them onto your Kindle or your iPad, or you can read them on your computer. I dare you to find a better deal. 12 Months to Health is in there. The Novel Faith is in there. Martial Artist Handbook is in there. All the interview episode books are in there. How Not to Hold a Tournament is in there. What else is in there? I don't know. They're all in there. They're all in there. It's a lot of books. 12, 15 books, something like that. Yeah. It averages like $3.50, $4 per book. So check it out. Buy stuff. Thank you. I appreciate you. And we'll end on Lou's comment here. Hope you all have a blessed Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And thank you to you, Lou, to all of you. Take care. I'll see you Monday. Be well. Peace.